Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I hope you appreciate the beautiful music. How is everybody doing? Let me know if everything looks and sounds okay. I believe it does. Assuming that it does, I want to say welcome to everybody who is here in the live chat. I see people have been waiting. Yeah, I'm sorry for the wait, as always. Uh, Today I'm here with a guest. That I want to say welcome to. At first, I honestly have no idea what we're expecting from this conversation. I will be surprised. Hello, Apostate Imam. How are you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good. Thank you. Is the sound volume okay? I think you're a little bit quiet, Apostate Imam, in comparison to
Okay.
the other two.
Is it good now?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I hope so. Thing is, I never know what people actually hear on the other side when they're watching, but we'll see later. Um, Quickly about your voice. You're using a voice changer, right?
Yeah, I'm using a voice changer.
And you're using the voice changer because of safety reasons.
Yeah, for safety reasons, because so many people will recognize me.
I see. Are you in India or
No, I'm living in London, but I am an Indian.
okay? You're living in London. You're an ex-Muslim, and okay, I see. I see. I guess that's why we will never get a picture of your face or of your voice, what you really sound like, and all that, because you would be concerned for your safety. Um, you are a former imam. Can you explain? Can you talk about that? How did all of this happen? Did you become an imam at some point? How did you become an imam? Did you become an imam? Do we really know that you are an imam? And why did you
No,
leave Islam?
uh, actually, I was a scholar of Islamic comparative religion. I was student of Dr. Zakir Naik. I studied in IRF, Islamic Research Foundation. I studied their Quran and Hadith. And my main work was to be a dai, means my main work was to invite non-Muslim toward Islam. So I was being trained that how you can debate with Christians, how you could debate with Jews, and how you could debate with Hindus. But when I read their scriptures and then I read my scriptures, I realized that I'm following something that is against humanity. My religion is not good for humanity, not good for society, not good for secular culture. And since I'm a humanist, I left Islam, and the main reason I left Islam is the rationality. It's don't Islam contradicts with rationality and science.
Hmm. What do you mean by student of Zakir Naik? I mean, were you literally a student of his organization?
I was a student in his organization. I personally attended his several workshops. He used to preach there. I personally attend his I personally attend his several sermons, and even did a handshake with him. And he even uh, gave me a certificate when I completed that workshop in his organization, Islamic Research Foundation. So I was there, and I studied Islam in so much depth that I left it.
Do you have like a thing, a photo of that certificate that you can where you can blur out your name just to show to the public the truth about this? And I'm just trying to, the thing is, we talk a lot about these matters here and about polemical matters here, and of course people will be skeptical about everything, and I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to make your position better in that regard. Uh, could you tell
Yeah,
us certain things
but
that that a student of Zakir Naik would know?
yeah, means just for safety reason, even in my own streams, I talk about it really less. When I just created my channel in the beginning, I mentioned that, and I mostly focus on Quran and Hadith. Uh, and Luckily, my channel is just 3 months old, but it's the one of the fastest growing ex-Muslim channel in India, and so many newspapers are talking about it. did several streams with Bill Warner, Robert Spencer, and other people. And the reason I left Islam, as I told, it's the rationality. Okay, so because there are so many things which are against rationality, means like why it's rain, according to Muhammad and Adab al Mufrad, Hadith 722. Ibn Abbas said that he made a supplication when he heard a cloud burst, and he said, "Glory be to him whom you glorified." He said that the thunderclap is an angel who yells at the rain clouds as a shepherd yells at his sheep or goats. And Adab al Mufrad, Hadith 7 to 3. Abdullah bin Zubair stopped speaking when he heard a thunderclap and said, "Glory be to him whose praise the thunderclap sings, and the angels glorify in awe of him." He used to say that the thunderclap is a stern warning for the dwellers of the earth. So these
Mhm.
people didn't even understand what thunderclap is, according to
There
Jamia.
is even a hadith according to which Muhammad was very concerned when he saw dark clouds, because he was worried that Allah may send punishment for the people. So he was very concerned whenever he saw clouds, and asked for blessings instead of punishments. And when there was a movement of the moon, and there was an eclipse in his time, he was very concerned that Allah is trying to scare the believers, and he said that to his congregation that
Yeah,
uh,
according to him,
yeah,
eclipse is a sign of
yeah.
last hour. And in Jamia Tirmizi, he makes several false prophecies. I will go really quick and talk about all of. I will mention all those false prophecies. Jami Tirmizi, Hadith 3117, narrated by Ibn Abbas, that the Jews came to the Prophet and said, O Abul Qasim, inform us about the thunder. What is it? He said, an angel among the angels who is responsible for the clouds. He has a piece of fire wherever that he drives the clouds wherever Allah wills. They said, then what is the noise we hear? He said, it is him striking the clouds when he drives them on until it goes where it is ordered. So, according to Muhammad, means angels are beating the clouds and they are taking clouds where they should go, where they are ordered, and clouds are shouting, and there are so many things which contradict with rationality. Even
Okay.
fever, according to Muhammad, is because of the hellfire.
But can you disprove that? Can you prove that it's not because of hellfire? just, just kidding. Yeah, but
Yeah, that type of argument I face daily when I am debating with these Muslims. I um, and there is mention in Sunan ibn Majah, Hadith 3474, narrated from Asma bint Abi Bakr, that a woman suffering from fever would be brought to her, and she would call for water and pour it onto the neck of her garment.
uh,
She said that the Prophet said, "Cool it down with water," and he said, "It is from the heat of hellfire." Wait, I should better show all these hadiths using a presentation or slide so people could
no,
note them
you should do
down.
that.
Or
You should do that.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There was another thing. I was just trying to remember that,
okay.
but go ahead. Go on. Go
We share this screen.
on. Yeah, I would rather not share. Okay, I can just do that, I guess. Yeah, it was
Don't
narrated
worry,
from
you
Asma bin
won't
Abu
face
Bakr
any
that a woman
copyright or something.
suffering
They are
from
created by me.
fever would be brought to her, and she would call for water and pour it on the neck of her garment. She said, the Prophet said, "Cool it down with water," and he said, "It is from the heat of hellfire."
Yeah,
I guess you could
and this is
understand this figuratively and say he's just saying it is like like hellfire, but no, he's actually telling us that that is the heat, and
and
you should
some
call it
Muslim
down.
some Muslim may claim that dude, it's a metaphor like they always did, but she's literally pouring that woman with water. She's sprinkling the water over her chest. Also mentioned in this hadith from Sahih Muslim, hadith 5757 on sunnah.com. It's hadith 2211a. Asma reported that a woman running high fever was brought to her. She asked water to be brought and then it in the opening of a shirt at the uppermost part of the chest, and said, Allah's Messenger had said, cool the fever with water, for it is because of the vehemence of beat of hell. In Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 3261, narrated by Abu Zamra Zabi, I used to sit with Ibn Abbas in Mecca. Once I had fever, and he said to me, cool your fever with Zamzam water, for Allah's Messenger said, the fever is from the heat of hellfire, so cool it with water or Zamzam water. This hadith occurs so many times in Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan ibn Majah, Tirmidhi, Mishkat, Muwatta Imam Malik, and all those references are mentioned on the screen that the Prophet said fever is from the heat of hellfire, so cool with water. So that's interesting. See how advanced our Islam or religion is. That's what Muslims say, that
Well, Muhammad
science
himself was a
came into
scientist.
existence because of Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad himself was a scientist. We know that. He was the first
Subhanallah.
scientist. Yeah, yeah. So how did this whole thing come into existence? I'm more interested in how you ended up here. I mean, you were getting an education in comparative religion. What about the title Imam? Did you literally get a certificate or an education to become
No,
an
I'm not
imam,
an
or is it
imam who leads prayer at mosque, but I was simply like a missionary. I was like a scholar of comparative religion.
okay? So you are a
And
scholar of comparative religion. You are not an imam who leads prayers.
yeah, sometimes
I
I
see.
lead my Muslim friends in prayer, but I'm not that imam. And if sometimes the imam is not in the mosque, or if if he's sick, sometimes I'll lead prayer. But I'm not that imam who work professionally as an imam. Not that imam. I
I
was
see.
just
I see.
missionary. I attended the workshop and I got my certificate. I was not doing any degree. I was not doing any educational degree over there. I was just attending the workshop, and I was just doing a course for comparative religion. So I did it for 5 to 6 months.
I understand. So do you still practice? Do you still identify and openly, walk around as a scholar or Muslim preacher, or are you out of that entirely?
I'm out of that. Even all those people whom I converted into Islam, I now are ex-Muslims, and um, but I don't publicly tell people that means publicly I reveal my identity. I never tell them. I have Muslim friends. If they knew, they are gonna kill me for that. So I just don't tell them. Even my roommates, where I'm living in UK, they are Muslims. So I don't tell them that I am an ex-Muslim. I don't tell them that I'm running a YouTube channel where I am promoting rationality and science, where I am promoting this ex-Muslim movement. I don't talk about them.
I see. I see.
I don't talk about that.
How did it come that you called yourself Apostate Imam?
I guess your name inspired me, but you already took that word prophet.
Well, I am a real prophet, but you're not a real imam, so that's a
So
difference.
I'm following you, so I could be imam.
Okay, that's a fair point. I will make you imam after I'm the prophet, so I just declare you an imam right now. So
I'm your
problem
successor.
problem solved. That's good. Okay, well, fantastic. I have no problem with it anymore. That's great. Uh, um,
So
how long did it take for you to question your religious beliefs and eventually to leave Islam?
when I was studying about comparative religion, I thought that I should also have knowledge of my own scripture. So then again, I signed up for a course in IRF at IRF that I should be studying Hadith as well. So I studied Bukhari over there. I study Sahih Muslim. The Sahih Jami Tirmizi, um, Sunan Abi Dawud. Sunan ibn Majah, Nasai. I read various books, and when I complete this book, Sahih Bukhari, I was stunned. Means there were things pretty hard to swallow, like fever is from hellfire because of the hellfire. And this hadith, which you are watching on your screen, because this hadith tell that even the hot weather in summer, it is because of the heat of the hellfire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Na- narrated in
Yeah.
narrated by okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I wanted
Okay.
to say something. Go ahead.
Narrated by Abu Huraira and Abdullah bin Umar that Allah's apostle said, "It is very hot. Then pray the Zuhr prayer when it becomes a bit cooler, as the severity of the heat is from the raging of the hellfire." Narrated by Abu Zar Ghaffari, the Muazzin, the call maker, the one who call for the azan of the Prophet pronounced the azan call for the Zohar prayer, but the Prophet said, let it be cooler, or said, wait, wait, because the severity of heat is from the raging of hellfire in severe hot weather. Pray when it becomes a bit cooler and shadows of the hillstock appears. It's mentioned so many where in Bukhari, Ibn Majah, and Tirmizi. All those references are there. And there are various hadiths like God makes in Quran Surah Al-Hud chapter 11 verse 7 that he is the one who created heaven and the earth in 6 days while his throne was on water, so he might test you uh, as to who among you is better indeed. And if you say, "You shall be raised after death," the disbeliever will surely say, "This is nothing but sheer magic." So I don't believe in magic, but God throne was above the water. And in ancient days, people thought that when there was no land, there was only water. So Quran just simply tell this in in Ibn Khuzaimah in his book Al Tawheed, the page 105, Imam Bahaki in his book Asma wal Sifat, page 401, and this is Sahih Hadith according to Imam Ibn Qayyim and Imam Al-Zabi. So, narrated by Ibn Masud said, between the first heaven and one above, there's a distance of 500 years. And between each heaven, there's a distance of 500 years. Between the seventh heaven and the kursi, there's kursi above it, there's a difference of 500 years, and above the kursi is water. And between the kursi and water, there's a distance of 500 years, and above that is the throne of Allah on the water. And nothing whatsoever of your deeds is hidden from him. So throne of God is above water, and actually sun sets in the water. And
Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole thing. I mean, it's Muhammad is just a 7th century guy who adopts certain beliefs, adopts certain views about cosmology that existed in his environment before his time. It's things like these that the world was just a giant ocean, and there was only an ocean from the very beginning, and then Allah's throne was above that ocean. He was floating above that ocean, and then he created the earth and the heavens and separated them and created this whole building. That is all. That is all a successor of certain Middle Eastern, ancient Near Eastern, Babylonian, Sumerian beliefs, which come into the Arab culture and are adopted into Islam by Muhammad. I mean, this is it just goes back to that. There is an uninterrupted chain of myths that are adopted by Islam from over 1,000 years, and that's basically literally what it is. It's not like Muhammad made these things up. He just heard these things. He just learned these things in his own culture. He thought these were true things, and he tried to explain them in his own way with his own religion by adding to it and maybe being a little bit crazy with a mental problem that he had. He was hallucinating. He was seeing
he
things. He was hearing things, and
he
that's
was
that's
suffering
really how
from
he came into existence.
schizophrenia.
Yeah, I wouldn't diagnose him. I think he might have had a certain mental health disorder, a mental health problem that gave him hallucinations. We see very clearly in certain hadiths that he's reported to make certain noises, and he falls onto the ground, and he's covered up with a blanket, and he makes loud noises, he sweats and becomes red and all that. And he himself, he describes that he hears the sound of a ringing bell in his ear, and that becomes very loud, and then when it's over, he
Yeah,
grasps what has been said. And he has these episodes, so it looks like he's suffering from something. It's just not easy for
he,
us, maybe not even right for us to point out what exactly his condition was, but he had a problem.
yeah, in Sahih al-Bukhari, Kitab al-Wahi, all these things are mentioned that he received revelation like ringing bell, and um, we could feel that this person was suffering from schizophrenia because hot weather is because of the hellfire, fever is because of the hellfire. Uh, God is sitting on a throne um, above heaven, and he came down to the lowest heaven at the night time. As narrated in this hadith by Abu Huraira, that Allah's Messenger said, "When it is the last third of the night, O Lord, the blessed, the superior, descends every night to the heaven of the world and say, is there anyone who invokes me, demand anything from me that I may respond to his invocation? Is there anyone who asks me for something that I may give it to him? Is there anyone who asks for my forgiveness that I may forgive him?" So God is coming down to the lowest heaven at the night time. This hadith also prove that Earth is flat, because if I'm living in London, if someone is living in India, if he's praying the night prayer, tahajjud prayer, namaz-e-shab or salatu-shab, then he's wasting his time, because God has already gone back to to his throne. He's not on the lowest heaven anymore. So, according to what time he's coming, according to Indian time, according to UK time, according to Arabian time, what according to what time he's coming to the lowest heaven? Because um, if you are
I
praying
think
the night
what
prayer, then it's
Allah is like
waste.
a blanket. He's like a blanket, and he's wrapped around the earth. So he's like, wherever there's night, he's very low, he's very close, and wherever there's day, he goes higher. So it's like this, he's wrapped around the earth, and then he goes like he fluctuates like this around the earth. I guess that's what this hadith describes. If we are talking about a round
Yeah,
earth rather than a flat earth. But yeah, what the hadith basically says is that Allah comes down to the lowest heaven, or to the heaven of the earth, and asks people to pray to him every night, and stays there for a while, and then he leaves again. And that simply does not make sense. Why would Allah come down to a certain space? Where exactly would he come to? How exactly is that down? And how exactly does he stay there for a while and then
yeah,
leave,
and even
when we
according
clearly
to
know that there is no such thing as night and day in certain different places? Night is always there, day is always there, because that's all just a result of how the sun appears. But yeah.
And only Allah knows what is in the womb of mother, according to Bukhari Hadith 1039, 4697, and 7379. But science proved this wrong as well, that we could know that what's in the womb of mother. And Islamic embryology is really funny. Means I could show those hadiths later. There are a bunch of hadiths, and now. Uh, means even means in Sahih Bukhari Hadith 650, narrated by Salim, that I heard Darda saying, Abu Darda entered the house in an angry mood. I said to him, what makes you angry? He replied, by Allah, I do not find the followers of Muhammad doing those good things which they used to do before, except the offering of congregational prayer. And this is strange. Means even Sahih Bukhari Hadith 530, narrated by Az-Zuhri, that he visited Anas bin Malik at Damascus and found him weeping, and asked him why he was weeping. He replied, I do not know anything which I used to know during the lifetime of Allah's apostle, except this prayer which is being lost. So means people even stopped following Islam at the time of Muhammad death, and
Mhm.
they were not practicing true Islam.
Hmm.
Now, Nile and Euphrates River, they flow from heaven, and they are the reason. The rationality is the biggest reason I left Islam. So, according to Sahih Muslim, Hadith 7161 on Sunnah.com, it's
Okay,
Hadith
I want to quickly
2839.
address a super chat here. Vic London said auditory hallucinations equals schizophrenia. Apostate Imam is correct. Here's the thing. I completely disagree. I don't want to. I would say that we are in no position to say what exactly Muhammad's condition was, what exactly his issue was. This statement, for example, is false. Auditory hallucinations equals schizophrenia. That's not true. Auditory hallucinations can be schizophrenia, can be schizoaffective disorder, can be a regular psychosis induced by something else. It can lead back to several different issues. I study psychology, and I know for a fact, and one of the first things that I learned in abnormal psychology and psychological disorders is that you cannot simply go with one specific symptom and then thereby conclude that this person has this specific condition. That's not true. That simply is not how it works. And I would if I want to be an opponent of something today, then I'm definitely an opponent of diagnosing people directly by name with a certain specific disorder. We are in no position to do that. What we could do is I could go and ask certain psychologists or psychiatrists, to be more specific, who specialize in this field, and ask them what they think about Muhammad, what they think his condition was. And uh, I'll be very honest, a psychiatrist or a psychologist who specializes in these fields, even that person would not make a specific diagnosis. They would at best say, it looks like this person suffered from this and this and this, but we cannot know for sure, because in order to make a diagnosis, we would have to, observe the patient, talk to the patient, run certain tests, and so on. So I wanted to clarify this just because I think it is kind of an obligation on my part and on our part to be fairer with that whole issue. I don't think we are in any position to diagnose Muhammad, but he definitely had a certain mental problem. Yeah.
Yeah, even Ali Sina talks about it in his book Understanding Muhammad. And according to this hadith, mentioned in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 7161, according to international referencing Hadith 2839, that Abu Huraira said, the Messenger of Allah said, Sehan, Jehan, Al Furat, and Nil are all from the rivers of heaven, Jannah. It's mentioned in Sahih al Bukhari, Hadith 7517, narrated by Anas bin Malik, that the night messenger was taking for the journey from the sacred mosque of Mecca al Kaaba. Later, the portion of that hadith tell that the prophet met Adam over the nearest heaven. Gabriel said to the prophet, "He is your father. Greet him." The prophet greeted him, and Adam returned his greeting and said, "Welcome, O my son. What a good son you are." Behold, he saw two flowing rivers while he was in the nearest sky. He asked, "What are those two rivers, O Gabriel?" The Gabriel said, these are the sources of Nile and Euphrates. Means Nile and Euphrates, these two rivers flow from the first sky, the nearest heaven. But there is a contradiction in Sahih Bukhari itself. These two hadiths, 7207
Okay,
and
Apostate Imam, we can go
yeah,
on preaching forever. I just don't want to turn this into a session where we just list things. I wanted to talk more about you and about your perspective and why why you concern yourself with these things, how you came to leave Islam. So you have basically, I made a miss. I had a misunderstanding that you were actually an imam who left Islam and who is out there preaching, because that's what I heard and that's what I thought you said before. I might be wrong about that.
no, I
Apparently
said
that is not the case. You are a
no,
scholar of comparative religion.
yeah,
Uh, do you have what do you mean by scholar? Do you have a certain degree in that field?
no, I said I'm not. I never said I'm an imam. Actually, just that's the name of my channel. But I am. I studied in IRF, and I was studying Bible, and I studied the Old Testament and the New Testament. I attended their workshop. I was a student of comparative religion, and I realized that they were filling my heart with for they were filling my heart
I
with
understand that, but do you have a degree in
hatred
it?
for Jews and Christian. But I realized that they are really nice people, and
I
this
understand that, but
religion.
just a second. I understand that, but do you have a degree or an education in a certain
Yeah, I have a
field?
certificate. I have a certificate for for completing theirs for completing uh, their workshop, and there are a few courses for comparative religion, for being a dai, that how you could do street dawa, you could invite people towards Islam. And I was doing street dawa for around 4 to 5 years. I distribute free
What is that
copies of
organization
Quran.
called? What is
Pardon?
that What is that organization called?
It's IRF, Islamic Research Foundation, and
Islamic
later
Research
I,
Foundation.
yeah,
Okay, and but you don't have a formal degree in a field related to Islamic studies or religious studies. Is that right?
yeah,
So you don't have a university degree in Islamic studies.
yeah. I was studying in college. I completed my degree, but I was also
What
interested in Islam.
what degree was that?
What degree? I just did the BBA, a bachelor.
Okay, so
Hello, pardon.
then you are not a scholar.
Yeah, we know you could say that I'm not a scholar who studied, who learned Arabic and learn all those things like Muslims, Maulvis or clerics does, or their priest does. I only study about comparative religion, and offer myself for few courses which were for learning Quran and Hadith. I attended those courses, but they
Okay,
also have dedicated degree
here
for
is
that.
here's the thing, Apostate Imam. Now, if you say that you are if you say that you are an imam, that might be a misunderstanding. You would expect that you are an imam of Islamic studies or of in Islam, in prayers or something in a certain way. If you say I am not an imam, I am a scholar, then we would expect that you have a certain degree of higher education in the field of Islam. If you if you say I am a scholar because I have a certificate in this organization of Zakir Naik, then I wouldn't really call you a scholar. I think that's a very simple certificate that people can easily acquire. So, insofar, I would say, no offense. I don't want to
Yeah,
cause
not
any
an
offense.
issue. You
No, I
could,
don't want to cause
yeah,
any
not an
offense, but
issue.
I don't want to cause any offense. But I would say that this is a big misunderstanding, and you would only be targeted by people for selling yourself in a wrong way. And in all honesty, I feel like I have been tricked into something here as well.
Yeah, I
And
also want clarity because people may later attack me that this person was lying. So I also want clarity because I also have a YouTube channel. I'm also writing my book.
why I understand that because I feel like I have been lied to. So
So you have to change the title after
I
uploading the
understand.
video. That discussion with Apostate Imam, not actually the person who
I
was an
understand
ex
if
Imam.
Muslims, for example, think, "Hey, why are you lying?" Because I feel like I have been lied to. So if I feel like that, and people know how outspoken I am and how much I don't care at all about people's feelings, but if I feel like I have been kind of tricked into this conversation at some point, then I can only understand that Muslims will have the same feeling.
Yeah, I agree. Uh,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a short thing. You have to change the when the video is uploaded. You have to change the title. That discussion with Apostate Imam, but uh, not like the person who was an ex Imam or person who was an Imam. Actually, I guess you misunderstood by my name.
Yeah, like
Okay.
everyone else.
Okay, so shall we continue?
Um, just give me a second. No, I think we can end this here. Maybe we can again schedule a conversation at some point about Islam, about Islamic matters. I think at this point, this was just planned in a wrong way. So I think it would just be the best on my part, on everybody's part, to simply end the conversation here.
Yeah, we have to do it again because I guess you
I
misunderstood,
will,
and
I will decide. I will see if we do it again.
we have to do it again
Yeah,
because
I
yeah,
will,
because
I
we
will
don't
see
want any
if.
wrong message to reach our viewers or any misinformation.
Okay, yeah, I will see if we would do it again. But thank you. I want to thank you. I want to say bye to you at this point. Thank you for joining, and I'll talk to you again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to be very, very harsh with this right now. I'm very sorry to be very harsh with this right now. But the thing is just, I feel like I felt a little bit icky about this whole issue, in all honesty, and I tried to make this clear. I felt a little bit icky about this, about having this conversation. I felt like I have been kind of pressured into having this conversation by being contacted by him on so many different channels. Him telling other people to contact me and to invite him and all that stuff, and I felt kind of like I felt forced into having this conversation uh, with a person whose face I don't see, whose voice I don't hear. I understand people might be, anxious about their safety or whatever it is. Someone was just lynched for criticizing Islam and killed brutally. I understand that entirely. But the thing is, we are doing something here. We're trying to spread information here, to verify information, trying to clarify things here in public, and it is very it's a sensitive matter, to go out here and to talk to somebody without knowing whether the things they are saying are actually true or not. I mean, I saw a slide of certain arguments against Islam that address mostly Muhammad's misunderstandings of the natural scientific world around us. The thing is, these are very basic things that everyone can go through and that everyone can memorize. Somebody with a good memory can memorize these things and can list them. I learned these things at the very beginnings of my analysis and my criticism of Islam. These are not necessarily new things by any means. These are indeed very old. And when I ask if he's an imam, and he says yes, but then I clarify whether he is an imam or not, and he says, I'm actually not an imam, I'm actually a scholar. Then I ask, what do you mean scholar? Well, I studied under Zakir Naik. Okay, but what exactly did you study? Well, I got a certificate. Okay, but did you get a degree to call yourself a scholar? Uh, no, actually went to college, but for something different. Well, then how are you a scholar? Well, I studied under Zakir Naik and got a certificate. Can you give us that certificate? Well, change of topic. I'm sorry, I just cannot take this seriously. I have to be very blunt and very honest here. I have to care a little bit about the integrity of this channel that we have built and the integrity that I think I should have at this point. I would think this was a big mistake. I shouldn't have invited this person here. And I think people who want to go out and who want to spread information, who want to change people's minds, should be clearer about themselves, should be more honest about themselves, should be more honest to themselves foremost. This person is not a scholar. And I feel a little bit angry right now, but this person is not a scholar, is not even a student, is not even a basic uh, debater or whatever it is, not even a basic analyst. This is bullshit. I'm sorry. And I have been tricked, and I apologize sincerely to everybody, to all the ex Muslim viewers, all the atheist viewers, all the Christian viewers, Hindu viewers, Muslim viewers. I apologize to everybody for having contributed to misinformation here in public. I'm very sorry. I'm truly, deeply sorry. And no matter how you feel about me, I mean it. And at this point, I will change this. I might call it fake Imam. Uh, the title of the stream. I might change the thumbnail of this, but I simply can't deal with what I perceive as dishonesty. Because what I see is that a person is simply having political talking points, appealing to certain political viewpoints, to Hindu nationalists, to other people, to people within Islam who are hateful against Muslims themselves, appealing to certain Muslim radicals and whatever it is, and just pushing a certain narrative while claiming to be a scholar. This is not a scholar. This is nonsense. It's bullshit. And I don't know. I feel angry about this. I will not take this much further. It's just stupid. I will. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to leave the stream up, Gedalia. I might leave it here just for clarification. Maybe I'm doing my part in putting the truth about it out here. You know what I see very often from Muslims, for example, things like, hey, apostate prophet is not an expert. Hey, apostate prophet is not a scholar. Yeah, no shit. I never said I'm an expert. I never said I'm a scholar. Because I'm very honest about this, in a moment of truth, I am very honest about this. When I came here, when I started what I'm doing, I explicitly said from the very beginning, I am a former Muslim. I studied Islam. I studied it for a very long time. I practiced it a lot. I was very strict and very rigid about it. I felt it very deeply. I was born into a religious Muslim family. I was raised in a very religious Muslim family. And now I am here to share what I know, what I have studied, and what I've experienced with the rest of the world. I am not a scholar. I am not an expert. You will not find a single instance of me ever calling myself a scholar or calling myself an expert, despite the fact that I have much more knowledge on Islamic matters, and I've read much more books on Islamic matters than the average or the educated Muslim individual. Despite that, I don't call myself a scholar, because calling myself a scholar brings a certain responsibility, such as that I go and that I'm actually formally educated in a certain Islamic institute, that I am part of a seminary, that I go to school, go to a university and get a degree, a master's degree at least. If I am a master's student in Islamic studies, I could call myself a scholar, although that would still kind of feel a little bit off. But I would be by definition a scholar. If I accomplish that, I could definitely call myself a scholar. If I get a PhD, I am definitely a scholar. I don't have any of these things. I am currently pursuing an undergraduate degree, and I'm shifting toward religious studies, taking courses. And I am actually changing my mind, and have actually recently decided to go toward studying religious studies, and I want to obtain a religious studies degree. When I do that, that still doesn't mean I'm an Islamic scholar. If I go on after that and pursue a master's degree in Islamic studies, I could say, hey, I am aspiring to be a scholar in Islamic studies. I'm still not really a scholar. If you come here and call yourself a scholar without even having the basic degree, without even having a bachelor's degree in Islamic studies, but you just have a certificate where you're trained to talk to people online, like Ali Dawa, for example, I'm sorry, you are by no means a scholar. That is bullshit. And I want to stand by that honesty. And I feel tricked. God damn it. Susanna made a super chat. Hi, Susanna. Said Apostate Imam, what is your number one criticism of the Hindutva ideology? Well, unfortunately, he's gone. So, but thanks, Susanna, for being here. Someone else with a Sanskrit name said, "Great work, both of you. Thank you." ABK said, "Imam is student of Naik and did Dawah for many years. I don't give a shit." Susanna made a super chat and said, "AP, you did the right thing. I love the integrity. He's a fraud. He demonizes Muslims and pushes BJP narrative." See, maybe I should inform myself more about people before I invite them here, I guess, right? My fault. I'm very sorry. But thank you, Susanna. Zagros Özkan said, AP, you're a good man. Shit happens. We're with you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ravender Mena made a super chat. Mythological Beasts made a super chat and said, your integrity is immensely commendable. Thank you. I mean, this should be natural. It should be granted that at least this is the least I could do. I mean, Mark D said, this is for standing firm on principle. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Safran Sober said, have you explored energy practices like Reiki? Yes, they are nonsense. Kasim Tufail made a super chat. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I will leave it at this, I believe. SNF Gotti said, I have a BBC degree, let me come. Slinza said, are you a prophet? Then clarify. Yes, because in order to be a prophet, you don't need anything. You don't even have to know the basics about human life and about the world. You can just be a complete stupid, dumb idiot and call yourself a prophet, and people will buy it. So I am a prophet. Yeah. Crazy Pet Mom made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want to leave. It's just when I see super chats, I don't want to leave. Yeah, sorry. Honestly, if I made a wrong conclusion here with this, what I just did, I will be happy to come out and apologize for that as well. This is just my impulsive response to something. I felt like something is off. I'm pressured, tricked into this. I gave the person the benefit of the doubt and asked several times to clarify and to prove certain things. Didn't happen in the end. Turns out that the person doesn't even have an undergraduate degree, so I just had to let it out. Susanna said, please leave the stream up. He needs to be exposed. I think I might do that. Thank you, Susanna. I appreciate it. And Uzma Khan said, great work and blessings to you and your family. Thank you, Uzma Khan. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. I will leave it here. I will be back with a different video, a different stream. I recorded a parody video of 10 reasons why you should convert to Islam. I wanted to publish that tomorrow, but I might just publish it today just to feel better because I found it funny. But yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for being here. I will try to make sure that I inform myself further about potential guests before I have them on. Shellman said, please keep fighting the good fight. Thank you. I appreciate that. Omega Resetsu said, I consider you to be a philosophical intellectual. See, I don't even do that. I don't even consider myself that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But then somebody comes here and makes this and calls himself a scholar. It's just... Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic day. I feel like I'm cutting something off by just leaving here, but yeah. Thanks for joining. Have a fantastic day and stay away from Islam.